Yo, YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to the Radar for Wrestling Studios.
What up, Mox?
Guys, Monday Night Raw just finished up. We have two takeaways from a really bad show of Monday Night Raw. Nothing new from Monday Night Raw. Continuously bad shows, back to back to back to back to back to back to back, all the way through. Keeps on going.
3 hours of nothing. 3 hours of nothing. Just a bunch of nothingness all over.
Yeah, really nothing much there whatsoever in terms of Monday Night Raw. Convoluted storylines, pointless storylines. Nobody really has any direction. Nobody really knows what they're doing or where they're going. Things change on a dime. Typical WWE fashion, rewriting the shows before the show airs. So we got a couple things to get into, but it's an overall really bad show for Monday Night Raw, a couple weeks out from the Royal Rumble, but we do have two takeaways for you guys. At the end of the video, we're gonna talk about the WrestleMania news, WrestleMania for the next 3 years and where it's going. So we'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the video, so make sure you tune in to all the way to the end to hear our opinions on WrestleMania in the next 3 years going forward. So let's jump into it. Two takeaways from Monday Night Raw, but before we do, I remind you guys, drop a like on this video and a comment on this video because it helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. You'll get more of our videos if you comment and like the videos. Subscribe if you're watching, not subscribe to the channel. Thank you all to new subscribers to the show. We just hit 900 subscribers, so appreciate all the support. And hopefully it keeps on coming and we keep putting out good content for you guys. Notification bell is alert when new videos drop. Follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all the same handles for all those platforms. Description section below, you get those links. Click those links, use those links, kicks back to the channel. Let's get right into it. Two takeaways from Monday Night Raw, and we're gonna start off with our first takeaway, and it was Luchador / Conquistador Randy Orton. It's right behind us. You can see the picture. Randy Orton wearing this mask over his burns, even though it doesn't cover his nose, and his nose looks like it's pretty burnt from the makeup they put on it. But I think the most interesting thing about this was, why does he still have facial hair and eyebrows? They would have got burned off, at least some of them, from the flames that hit him from AlexaBliss. And it's such a staged promo. He's in like that interview ring that they have in the back. He has clips set up on the TV next to him to play when he brings them up and when he cues to them. So I don't think it was good, and it's just a funny looking mask. They should have just put bandages on his face, similar to the Negative Man from Doom Patrol, stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So it should have done something like that, or a tinted face mask, Cody Rhodes-esque, but tinted. May have been better because he supposedly has first-degree burns and he looks really gnarly, so they don't want to show it, or he doesn't want to show it, but he still vows to be in the Royal Rumble even though he got these burns on his face.
Yeah, so he's the Kane Conquistador now. He's got those third-degree burns or whatever. This segment was really long. I remember it starting, and I was like, what the hell is going on? I looked at my phone, and it still was going on. It was a long, weird promo of him in the dark talking to himself.
Yeah, it was like
it was weird.
Like a 10-minute segment. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like way too long. It felt unnecessary. It was kind of just overdone, overproduced. Too much going on there. The mask was dumb. Maybe that's what they were going for, a dumb mask. I don't know what they were going for. It was dumb. Yeah. It really was. This arson stuff that's going back and forth between the Fiend and Randy, all that stuff. It's like there's a bunch of arsonists attacking each other with fire. I guess we're supposed to believe that he has burns. He still has his facial hair. Still has his beard. I mean, he still has everything. Whatever. I don't know. We're just gonna believe and disbelieve everything. I don't know. Who cares anymore? This storyline is getting a little ridiculous. It was kind of ridiculous when we set a man on fire, and then we had fireballs flying at people. I don't know. It's going all over the place. It's losing kind of interest for me at the moment. Maybe they'll pick it back up, but this mask thing is kind of dumb. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see it next week. But yeah. I don't know. Weird segment.
Axe the mask. They were better off just trying to do as best they could with makeup and try to make them look somewhat burnt.
Like even just wear a hoodie over your eye. Like don't cover your face. Like just something like that. I don't know. Just anything.
Or bring back the Undertaker and Phantom of the Opera mask. Something like that.
Yeah, like anything. But you brought this stupid it looked like someone cut someone's underwear and just put it over the face. Like, it was
like ladies' underwear that has the nude color. That's what they look like. They just cut holes in it and they put over his face. Terrible segment. The angle itself is taking a really bad turn for the worse, and we'll see where it goes going forward to the Royal Rumble, but he's still going to be in it. So even though there was rumors of him being nixed from the Royal Rumble, but obviously he's not going to be. He's in the match. He announced it, so he's going to stay in the match. So that's takeaway number one. The Conquistador Luchador mask that Randy Orton was wearing after he got his face burned last week by AlexaBliss.
So dumb.
Next thing on the show, Charlotte Flair versus Peyton Royce, and they're continuing the feud. Charlotte, wins by submission. I thought they were gonna go with the overplayed, overdone distraction finish because Lacey Evans did come out with Ric Flair wearing Ric Flair's robe. Yeah. So that Anna Nicole Smith storyline still goes forward. A younger woman with a very, very much older man. That storyline's going, and I thought they were gonna go to the distraction finish, but she ended up, kicking out Charlotte, won by submission. So we'll see where the storyline goes. It's bad. It's coming off really bad, and it's not good. So we'll see where it ends up.
And she's a women's tag team champion. Why aren't you in tag team matches with Asuka? They're kind of separated right now. This storyline
and you have Peyton Royce, the partner of Lacey Evans, taking on her. Just do a tag team. Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah,
I don't
get those tag team belts feeling more important because you have it on two of the most important women in the brand, in the company. So just keep using them. But
for a pointless storyline with Ric Flair, I don't know.
Bad stuff. Next thing on the show, we had Xavier Woods taking on formerly known as Dio Madden Mace, part of Retribution. Mace wins, so that's two Retribution members that beat Xavier Woods in the past 2 weeks. Kofi Kingston hurt. So they're just gonna have I guess Woods job out to all the members. He's probably gonna play Slapjack next week, I assume. After that, so it is what it is. We'll see what happens going forward, but at least Retribution's getting some wins.
Wasn't Ricochet in a few with them once? What happened to that? I don't
yeah, that kind of just ended. He said he wasn't gonna be part of it, and then that's it. Whatever. I don't
know. It was so memorable. We're gonna forget this too once Kobe comes back.
Yeah. Next thing on the show was Alexa Bliss's Playground, and Asuka's a guest, and this was super awkward, super strange because Asuka's already kind of a strange character to begin with, the way she acts and stuff like that. So it didn't really mix with, for me anyways, with the Playground vibe. You had Alexa Bliss, talking to the others, swing to her left, which is like I guess she's talking to the Fiend, and it was just an overall weird segment, to be honest with you. It's very strange, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. I just thought it was weird that she was in it, Asuka, and it kind of just ended weird. It's just like Asuka leaves kind of afraid, and then Alexa Bliss kind of sits on that rocking horse that kept going by itself. So that was pretty much it. But she's going to take on Asuka in the main event, so interesting stuff there.
Weird. Just Asuka doesn't really fit in promos because you can't know what the hell she's saying, and this was already a weird thing to go with, so it just a lot of weird on weird. So just to get to a main event match, I don't know.
Yeah. Next thing in the show, Shayna Baszler with Nia Jax taking on Mandy Rose with Dana Brooke. Baszler gets the win. Baszler and Jax seem to be like beefing a little bit on the same page. They're both going to be in the Royal Rumble, and now they're asking for those rematches, that rematch for the tag team championships. So we'll see what happens with that. Rose and Brooke keep losing, so I don't know what's going to happen. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen at the Rumble with these. If there's going to be a match between these for the title, or will it happen at Mania? We'll see what happens.
Does it really matter at this point? Like, who cares?
Yeah. Next thing in the show, Royal Rumble opportunity on the line, because if you're gonna declare for the Royal Rumble, you gotta beat AJ Styles first. Last week it was Gulak. This week it was Ricochet, and Ricochet gets the win. I thought it was a really good match. The match itself, because these two guys obviously mesh well together, style, stuff like that. But Ricochet now is gonna miss on the Royal Rumble match. Probably not though. So he'll probably get in the match sooner or later in one way or another. But it just wasn't good. The good match was good, but it's just the fact that you have to beat AJ Styles now to get into the Royal Rumble. I guess it's something to do. We'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, this is just more of we don't have anything for you right now, so we're just gonna write some stuff up on the day, and we'll figure it out as we go. That's all it is. It doesn't really help anybody involved. Who are you gonna have if he keeps beating everybody? It's just gonna be a 22-man Royal Rumble or something.
Exactly.
Their roster's not that big. Come on.
Yeah, they're all gonna get in anyways. Next thing on the show, the Miz and Morrison dirt sheet. This was a horrible segment. They had Gilbert and fake Drew McIntyre. Really overweight, out of shape, short Drew McIntyre. I thought it was a terrible segment. These Miz dirt sheets keep getting worse and worse. Miz is a joke right now. So is John Morrison. They should just stop it, and that's all there is to that.
And don't have two of these things on one show. Just don't. You can't have two of the shows.
Too many talk shows.
Too many.
Yeah. Next thing. Now, before I want to talk about this before this matchup, because the matchup is Lose a House Party with Riddle against the Hurt Business. Before you have Riddle talk to the Hurt Business, and he's talking to all the guys, and then Bobby Lashley kind of stays behind, and he tells Riddle that he likes the flip flop look. And all that, and then he goes on to stomp on the foot of Riddle, but he misses by a mile. I don't know if the camera wasn't supposed to catch it, him missing, but he missed by a mile, and then Riddle kind of sold the wrong foot. So it was a terrible segment. I thought it was just bad. It was a disaster. I couldn't believe that actually happened. But then the match itself, was what it was. The Hurt Business defeat Lucha House Party and Riddle by submission, but there's still issues between the two Raw Tag Team Champions and Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. So we'll see, but it's far from when they should ever do the breakup. I'll tell you that much right now.
No, they can't break it up, and they should be having this little feud. I feel it doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like they gotta keep them strong, and I have this little infighting for no reason.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Next thing on the show, Jeff Hardy. He still has his feud with Elias and Jackson Riker. It's Elias versus Jackson Riker. Hardy wins by the
Hardy versus Riker.
Yeah, Hardy versus Riker with Elias. You have Hardy winning by disqualification because Elias interferes, causing issues between Riker and Elias. So we'll see. This is all bad stuff. Nobody really cares anymore. They've ruined Elias. I'm gonna come out with a video soon about how WWE ruined Elias, so stay tuned for that one. Next thing, let's get to the main events, and the final takeaway was Asuka versus AlexaBliss. This is probably the best part of the show. The match was solid. It was good, and then we had some supernatural stuff going on from AlexaBliss. And this is takeaway number 2, because you see the picture behind us. Alexa Bliss with black lipstick. She was not dressed like that, and she was not wearing that lipstick when the match started. So in the part of the match, the lights kind of turn off, and they go to commercial. When she comes back, she put on everything really quickly, and then she was dressed like this, and she was scaring the living hell out of Asuka, and then she ends up defeating Asuka and using a lot of the Fiend's movesets to do so. So I thought it was cool stuff. I think her beating Asuka this way makes her the favorite in my. It was Bianca Belair in my mind before. If you want, check out that Royal Rumble predictions and WrestleMania predictions. Alexa Bliss was my second favorite. I think she's gonna catapult to my first favorite after this matchup, because I was calling for in that video. Make sure you guys check it out, for WWE to book her like they booked the Fiend, but it's just a female version of the Fiend. It'd be the smartest thing to do with the Fiend not being there because he got burned alive. You could do this, but also it's just a waste of a character to not have her in matches themselves, because I think it'll elevate the women's division on Raw, because she'll be like such a massive figure. But I think this helped a lot. Then after the match was over, she looked at the camera, it cut in and out, and then she was back to normal. So a little bit of supernatural stuff for Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I mean, I dug it. I like where she goes into final form Frieza and then comes back to like normal Alexa Bliss, just like the Fiend and Bray Wyatt do. I thought that was great. I like that the fact they didn't give her a mask. I thought that would have been too much. I don't think she needed a mask. I think they could keep her crazy, keep her the Harley Quinn crazy. I think that's perfect what they did. This was interesting. It definitely gives her like just the way I liked her movements in the ring. She had her hands in the back. She was just looking. Everything was smooth and cool. I like that vibe from her. And I think it could be a really fun Royal Rumble where she just starts off as happy-go-lucky weird girl and then becomes the dark, sadistic final form, and then starts to take people out because, she's so small, it's going to look crazy. But, yeah, it was a good way to end a terrible show. This was the only good thing, the only thing I found entertaining on the entire show. I like nothing else. This was good. This gets me a little. I would like to see Randy do something because he just got burned like literally a week ago. So maybe get some payback or something. But maybe they'll save that for the Rumble or the Go Home show. We'll see. But this was the only thing that saved. Might as well one of the worst Raws I've seen, and that's saying stuff because it feels like I say that every other week because they're just really bad. Yeah,
it keeps getting worse and worse. But that's takeaway number 2. That's a review for Monday Night Raw and our 2 takeaways from the show. Let's get to some news and rumors real quick. Just quickly about WrestleMania. We all saw the corny little thing they did, video package they did with Triple H, Stephanie, Sasha Banks, Roman Reigns, John Cena announcing the new WrestleManias. This year's WrestleMania 37 will take place in Raymond James Stadium, the place where it was supposed to take place last year, but obviously it got canceled and was in the Performance Center. Now it will take place there with limited fans, and I believe it's going to be a 2-night event like the first time, like last year's. Probably mostly because they can't fill it out in one shot, so they want to have double the fans by just booking it 2 nights, which I guess is a smart move to make for WWE because they haven't been able to have fans this whole time. I believe they pushed it back. It will happen around April time, so April 11th, I think it was the rumored date to change. Then we have next year's WrestleMania being in Dallas, AT&T Stadium once again. Then the year after that, it will be the makeup for SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. So we got all that info there. So it's just a quick little thing. I think it's good for them to do it this way, smart, for them to go back to LA 2 years down the road because of how restrictive LA is right now. So it makes a lot of sense. They're going to go to the non-restrictive places first, and then hopefully 2023 everything's cool. They can just bang out and fill out SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, I like it. We're going to see the show in 2 exciting. Raymond James is cool, but it's a pretty much a football stadium. With the other 2, Dallas, where we saw it, it's a great venue. It looks great. We were there. It was awesome. I'm excited. SoFi is a really cool stadium, and I think we should keep going to all these cool NFL stadiums like Atlanta, Minnesota, all these newer dome looking crazy stadiums that you can do if rain, snow, it doesn't matter because you can do it no matter what. So it's definitely cool that they're laying the groundwork where instead of doing it the year before, they give you 1, they're giving you 3. They're showing you what's going on. People get excited for it. The build up is stronger because you're just exciting and waiting to see it in a new stadium. So we're in WrestleMania season. It's here. I wish we're a little more excited about more of what was going on, but maybe they'll surprise us at the Rumble and get us excited for you know, the road to WrestleMania. I doubt Raw will be good, but maybe maybe SmackDown will still be good.
Yeah, the Royal Rumble is always one of the more fun events of the year. Even if it's a bad Rumble match, it tends to be more fun than everything else. So we'll see what happens. We still got another week till 2 weeks till Royal Rumble, so we'll see what happens. Make sure you check out my Royal Rumble predictions and WrestleMania predictions video as well. And that's pretty much our video we got for you guys today. So thank you for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe and comment on this video. It helps us out a lot in the algorithm. And without further ado, if it doesn't work, do not do the job.
Later, Marks.